Hey everyone, I'm back. So do you guys remember Unstoppable Morgan, my fellow YouTuber who I dubbed the Ice Cream Permit Florida Karen in April of last year? I made a video about her back then, and if you aren't caught up on the lore, I do suggest you watch that video as a primer to this one, and I'll leave it as a pinned comment in the comment section below for anyone who needs it. But if you've seen it, you'll remember that during Morgan's last big incident, she got in trouble for trying to fight, and then being racist too, an ice cream truck driver on a Florida beach. Her follow-up videos only got her into more trouble, being caught in several lies, partially by yours truly, and making several tone-deaf jokes that pushed her audience away. Now, I have no idea how or why, but Unstoppable Morgan somehow managed to find herself involved in an incident only a few months after that video that is way crazier than the one we covered. And while so many people were frustrated that there was no real punishment for Unstoppable Morgan after the ice cream incident, this time she finds herself in the back of a cop car. And don't worry, we have all the footage and the audio recordings from all the police incidents. But first, what happened to Unstoppable Morgan this time? What is the beginning of the story that finds her in handcuffs, ranting wildly in the back of a police cruiser and facing extortion charges? How did she end up living at her supposedly insane stalker fan's house? The story starts with Morgan opting to date a fan. Apparently last summer, she abandoned her YouTube video making for a bit to immerse herself in a steamy summer romance with one of her fans, a man known only as John. It all started one fateful summer day in Sparks, Nevada, so very far away from the last place we found her, when her new boyfriend placed a call to 911 dispatch to report a crime. The person he was reporting, of course, was Unstoppable Morgan.
Okay, and I'm not on that property, by the way. It's only her.
Where were you?
I've been sleeping on a dirt road up in the desert up north of there.
Okay, we need you to meet with our deputies to take a report, so where do you want to meet at?
Could we meet at my office?
Okay, sir.
He accuses her of creating several posts for her social media followers that indirectly, but with obvious allusions, right, claimed he had given Morgan a black eye. So she was publicly accusing him of domestic violence, but not completely directly, by allusion. And she did so over social media, so a ton of people saw it. He also accused her of using the post and some footage she had apparently taken inside of John's family business, which allegedly violated an NDA she had signed, to try and extort $400,000 from him, quoting her as saying, "I kid you not, buy me out like the last effing bee, $400K. The dispatch agent he spoke to asked John if he'd be willing to meet up with officers to discuss the issue, and he asks if they'd be able to meet him at his business because he had been, as he says in his own words, sleeping on a dirt road while Morgan had taken over his property. This is the conversation he had with police when they showed up. First, he details how they got involved in the first place.
Yesterday, I responded out to the house for a wellness check for her.
I was here.
She was kind of in an emotional state yesterday, so it wasn't super clear. So just kind of when you guys started dating.
We started online dating, phone, distance relationship,
And how did you meet her?
Online. She's a YouTuber.
Okay.
She has an online presence. She had these ideas about, what she wanted to do for her next project, for her channel, and this and that. I got space. Why don't you come on out this way? So she came out this way, stayed for about a week. She went up to Idaho for a couple of weeks to go tour some hot springs and film content for her YouTube channel. We had still been talking on the phone. I was working on things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next, he tells the officers how things started to fly off the rails.
She just progressively got more unstable. And so I was like, look, still love you as a friend, but I don't think we can, have a relationship on any kind of romantic level. Then started going online and doing stuff. One day she was like, oh yeah, we broke up, and she took a bunch of stuff out of my house and was posting a live on YouTube saying that she stole my dog and she stole my Rolex and all this stuff and was driving around live streaming it.
Apparently, this whole thing was preceded by another police call from the previous Sunday.
Your partner said, look, I checked the house. She can lock the door. He told her, you stay on that side. You stay on that side.
And what was the reason for that call? I've kind of read through it a little bit.
Right.
Like, what was the whole issue with that?
So the whole issue with that was on Sunday morning, my sister had said, hey, I was just made known to me that there were some live videos that Morgan had recorded inside the facility. She signed the NDA saying that she wouldn't film or take photos or anything, blah, blah, blah. Can you ask her to take it down? So I asked Morgan, hey, I talked to my sister. She's asking if you take this video down. She flipped out. Tell me what time, what timestamp, mother, blah, 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 going off. She was going off. She was drunk. When they went in there, they were like, okay, well, it appears that she is packing her things up. She's clearly intoxicated. We can't ask her to, drive away or anything like that. So I've literally, since Sunday night, been sleeping up the road by the off-road section right outside of Pyramid Lake.
Yeah.
Apparently, John even went and reached out to Morgan's brother, and his response was very, very telling.
I called her brother yesterday, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Your sister's been drinking for a few days. She says she's going to leave. She still hasn't left, and I'm not sure what to do. He literally responded, you do what you got to do, man. She's just had an ongoing issue with everyone in her family. Her brother was like, if you got to try to get her 5150, this, that, and the other, he's like, you just do what you got to do.
So her own brother tried to kind of 5150 her here. Then, voice crack, then John goes into the texts she sent him where she allegedly tried to extort him.
No, I want $400K for my silence. I'll leave. We had a text exchange about her demanding money and then saying, well, I know you're broke, so I'll settle for $20K for my silence.
What is she wanting her silence for?
Well, she's claiming that she'll ruin my reputation.
She also appears to be using her YouTube following, which she calls the Unstoppable Army, to help with the extortion. John also tells the officer that he paid Morgan a visit after some really unhinged posts he saw of her asking for help and sporting a black eye.
So I went and knocked on the door. I actually thought she might try to pull some, so I had my phone recording in my back pocket, audio only. She finally answered the door, just soaking wet, like she'd gotten out of the bathtub, towel on, very disoriented. I was like, hey, I'm just checking on you. I saw the posts you made about help me, I need help, I'm not good. We're still just standing in the doorway, and she's like, I don't know, something, my eye, I'm like trying to look, I'm like, what's going on, right? We have a brief conversation, she slams the door, I leave. Last night at 2-ish or so in the morning, she sends me some texts. Oh, she's still texting? She's still texting. That's the most recent text. She's trying to say that because of her antics, she's gained more subscribers and is making more money and then demanding $400K. She even sent her bank account screenshot with her routing info and everything. She's saying she wants the money for silence, and then she started posting early this morning around 2 or 3 a.m. photos that apparently that she's taken down that showed that I had physically abused her.
Do you have those photos on here? Can you
they're in
the
email.
What's this Unstoppable Army? What is that?
That's what she calls her followers on her social media platform.
Okay.
$400K and I'll shut up. Ask to write the check 2 minutes ago.
So that's John's side of the story, right? But our next set of footage comes from the audio recorded by the officers who went to the house and spoke to Morgan that same day. They first confront her about the eye and her accusation that her fan-turned-boyfriend, John, is the one who gave it to her.
Hey, Morgan, how are you?
I'm okay.
You okay? What's going on today? Nothing? No? There was some posts about you injured your eye? How did that happen? Someone hit you? When did it hit you?
I came back and we're not ready to talk about
Okay.
it.
What if you talk to my partner? If you
No,
don't-
I'm just my heart is pounding.
Okay. Well, I would like to talk about that with you, just so we can make sure you're okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Can we come in and talk to you? So that looks pretty, do you have a light? Can I turn the light on? And when did this happen? You said yesterday after we were here?
Monday.
Oh, it happened on Monday? Do you have your phone? Were you able to call the police?
For what?
Well, I mean, that's a battery. Like, it's not okay to
Well, like, I feel like I'm making enticed him a little bit.
entice them. Well,
Because I'm still here.
Tuesday it happened. So that was yesterday, right? And you said it was after I came out and talked to you yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, so he came home. What was the conversation? He was upset about?
Why the he's still here?
Okay. Anything else? It just started with that?
Yeah, just like, why are you still here? You.
At what point?
He just got like super frustrated and just came at me.
Morgan even goes so far as to claim that she has damning audio evidence that proves he was the one that did it. And we have that audio as well.
And this is all from yesterday when he was here?
No, when he called me after.
Oh, when he called you. Okay.
Why are you calling me?
You know why?
No, I don't.
No, you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah. You know what? It's not the best.
Please tell me.
I was like looking at my phone and like looking at like 911 and like, should I call them? And so that's why I was calling you. Like, do I
Did you call them?
No. And I wasn't sure.
What are you saying right now, Morgan?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I
understand
wasn't.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, like I wasn't sure if I should. Like, should I?
Why don't you? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Why would you call them?
What for?
Yeah.
Extremely abusive and threatening me.
What did I threaten you with?
My life.
I did?
Now, call me crazy, but that does not meet my burden of proof. She seems to believe that because she recorded herself accusing him of something, that this is enough evidence to make a case against him that is compelling to these officers. But like, anyone with two brain cells to rub together could plan this preemptively, right? Like, you know you're going to make an accusation against someone and you want evidence to make it look legit, something to show, and you don't have anything real, so you record yourself accusing them, like on a phone call that you placed, and offer it as evidence. Like, see, why would I have said that to him on this phone call if it wasn't true? Well, because you plan to record it and to show it to the officer later to substantiate your claim, that's why. Luckily, the deputy seemed to sense something was off too, and when it became clear that her ruse was unsuccessful, she started downplaying the event as unworthy of pressing charges or pursuing further, backpedaling to, oh, he's a nice guy, I just want us to move on with our lives.
He's a nice guy. Like I said, like I feel like I enticed him, and like I'm still here, and he doesn't deserve any action.
Yeah.
Like, this was a big mistake.
What was a big mistake?
This just whole thing.
Like coming here or dating him, or what part was it?
No, like the hitting me thing.
Okay.
It was like just a big mistake.
Has he ever been like
No,
violent with you in the
he's
past or
never.
physical with you?
No, just verbally. It's fine. Everything's fine. Like he's gone and he's left me alone. And
But what happens if he comes back? Because he does live here, so
I have a gun.
you have a
and I'll-
gun?
So she seems to have sensed that she needed to reorient away from trying to trick the cop into believing the black eye story. But the officer is not so keen on letting the accusation go, actually. Instead, he wants to talk about the $400K she apparently tried to extort from John using this whole black eye debacle.
So did you send him any messages or anything about any money?
Oh, that was a joke. He gave his ex-wife $400,000, so I was joking and said I wanted $400K to leave. It was a joke.
Did you tell him that you were joking?
I think he knows.
He knows. How does he know that you were joking?
Just by the context of it all.
Well, I read all the messages and I've seen all the posts. They don't
Yeah,
seem to be joking.
I know what it looks like, but like he knows.
Ah, yes, so it's all a big joke, a prank, if you will, a social experiment. Now he ties the $400K to the black eye accusation more directly, and her story starts to get, to put it mildly, a little shaky.
What was it that you were referring to about being silent if he paid you the money? You told him that if he paid you the money that you would be silent and just leave. What was that about? About that injury, and that happened yesterday.
Like I said, I have to, like, I'm a little confused
Okay.
at this point, so it's like very distraught.
Well, you said that it happened after I would talk to you yesterday.
Yeah.
Some of those messages were before yesterday. What were those about being silent and just leaving?
I know that I'm calling.
But when you posted the pictures, was that to imply like that he did those? Is that why you posted them? To hurt him? Is there a specific reason you want to hurt him? You said that he's a nice guy and he's let you stay here. The reason that you posted those to hurt him specifically?
Well, that's something I have to ask myself. And so it's like this tit for tat thing going on right now, where he's like, I want to destroy you, and I'm like,
what actions has he done to destroy you?
threatening to, he said that I need help,
Okay.
and I need to be in a mental institution,
Okay.
and he was like, I'm going to make sure that you get there,
Okay.
and I was like, why would you do that to me and my dogs?
Do you think he's trying to destroy you by saying that you need to maybe get some help?
Do I need help? No.
No.
I am 100% mentally sane.
Okay.
When the officer goes on to ask her why she hates John so much and why she feels so much anger toward him, she gives an answer so vague that I frankly found it rather hard to believe. Apparently, she's mad because she wanted to have kids with John, a guy that she met like a month ago, and he didn't want to do that because that's like insane and completely irresponsible. But that was apparently the wicked and evil thing that he did to betray her that sent her down this rabbit hole of hatred and anger.
Why do you hate him so much?
Because he tricked me.
How did he trick you?
He just tricked me. He told me everything I ever wanted to hear. And coerced me to come in here, and then I left, and then he coerced me to come back. And here we are. I just feel like such a fool. It was just he lied about everything. I wanted a family, and I wanted a baby, and we're having unprotected, and he's like, let's not try to have a baby, but let's not try to have a baby, and he just fooled me.
How many times did he come over here yesterday?
No, he didn't come over, he's just been driving past.
So he didn't come over at all yesterday?
Like I said, I have to look at my phone when it comes to the altercation, but after that, he's been gone.
Will you look at the phone and see when the altercation happened? Because yesterday when I talked to you, you didn't have the black eye or anything.
Right.
But now you're telling me that he didn't come over here yesterday, so I just...
No, I didn't say that. I feel like I need a lawyer.
You want a lawyer? You don't want to talk to me
I
anymore?
already have one.
Okay.
The deputy reveals that he has the recording of the conversation she's lying to him about, and things only get weirder.
Would it surprise you to know if I told you that John recorded that conversation because he thought that there might be some allegations, so he recorded his conversation with you when he came home yesterday?
Okay.
And in the recordings, it doesn't sound like he was being violent or anything.
Right. He is a mastermind. He is so this guy is the most, he premeditates everything that he does. And so I'm here still. He's mad about that. I will not just be pushed out.
So he's manipulative and he premeditates everything he does. Kind of like, I don't know, calling someone to make a false accusation and record the conversation to attempt to use it as evidence to accuse them of domestic violence later on. Kind of like that premeditation. I don't know why any of this surprises me after the first video I made. We know unequivocally already that she lies through her teeth and that she has a propensity to play the victim. So the recording he had of the encounter when he went to visit her was actually included in the case file here. And as it turns out, Morgan answered the door after 8 minutes, dripping wet and with a black eye. And when John asks about it, she tells him she slipped on the floor before slamming the door in his face and walking away. So now that the deputy has revealed that he knows Morgan is lying to him about John giving her the black eye, he places her under arrest for extortion.
Do me a favor, ma'am. Go and stand up for me, please. Come over here.
Why?
Ma'am, please just stand up, okay?
No.
Ma'am, I don't want to do anything.
What are you doing?
Like, just stand up for me, please.
Stop. I have
Just
3
stand up.
dogs.
Okay, I understand that. Hands behind your back.
No.
Ma'am, relax.
You are not doing this. What are you
Relax.
doing?
Morgan, just relax.
Why, you guys? Why are you doing this?
So, Morgan, I told you how to explain it to you, all right? So right now, you're being arrested for extortion, okay?
Extortion?
Extortion. So
For the $20,000 comment?
for asking for $400,000 for your
No.
silence and for you to leave, right?
All right.
Okay?
It was a joke, but okay.
Well, John didn't think it was a joke. He felt like you were being serious because you asked him several times about it. Okay? So
Okay.
that's where we are right now. Okay?
Extortion.
She continues to insist the extortion play was just a prank, bro. But we have the actual footage of her handcuffed in the back of the cop car on the way to jail, where she alleges a grand conspiracy by the powerful family of this fan she was dating. So powerful that he had to go sleep in a ditch because you went nuts on him. So powerful that you called him broke and reduced your asking price from $400K to $20K. She also blames the deputy for assisting in the grand conspiracy because, of course, she does.
Know what's going on right now.
But he did say that he's been in contact with your brother and...
With my brother that lives in...
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Of course he's in contact with my brother. Of course he's in contact with everyone that I know. I fell in love with a stalker. And I know why this is happening, because I know that family owns this town. And you know what? Go to sleep tonight. Sleep on your pillow and know what you did to this woman. This is exactly what he wanted. And now he has my dogs. Now he has my dogs. Now he has my dogs. You tricked me.
I tricked you?
I invited you in the house, and I know that if I didn't, I wouldn't be here. You tricked me.
I wasn't trying to trick you, ma'am. I was trying to make sure that you're okay.
Yeah, and you came inside because you knew that you would only have the authority to arrest me if I either crossed the threshold or I let you in. You tricked me. I hope this is meeting your quota.
We don't have to go to this.
Yeah, yes, you do. One of my best friends is a police officer. Yes, you do. And he loves to deny that.
Finally, we also have footage of her at the police station where she requests a lawyer and yet gives the police her phone password and access to all her accounts and sings like a canary.
Do you give me consent to go through your phone to acquire that information related to this case?
No.
Okay.
Go through my phone for, excuse me?
For the text messages, the conversations, the things that you're posting about, do you give me consent to do that?
I feel like I need a lawyer.
Okay. It's just yes or no.
No.
Okay.
Well, you can log on there if you want to.
But we're going to download it all.
Okay, I will help you do that.
I just asked
I
if
can
you...
sign on to Patreon right now and you can see the post if that's what you need. Like, log on. I gave you my phone password.
You did, and I can't download them here. I have to take them
What
upstairs.
do you mean download? Like, I'll send it. I'll send it to you.
We're just going to download everything off that phone.
You
for the
cannot.
case.
There's over 6,000 videos.
Okay.
On that
We're only going to be getting the videos that are related to this case, not all your other videos of your YouTube.
But there are
and
no
stuff.
videos. It's a post. And
Okay.
so I was telling you, if you open my phone right now, we can screenshot the Patreon message. The post that I put on Patreon, we can screenshot it. It has nothing to do with videos. It has nothing to do with photos.
I'm just going to apply for a search warrant for those things at this point. okay?
Right. Of course you
So,
would.
yeah, okay. So
Because we both know who you are.
once they're downloaded, then you can go through the process of
Download
getting
it. There's nothing to download. It's a post on Patreon.
You need to...
All right. You need to relax.
Hey,
Oh, and Morgan was also, by the way, breathalyzed at this detention center. You may have been under the impression that perhaps she might have been slightly inebriated in the back of that car. She blew a .303, which is 4 times the legal limit of .08. So she was trashed again. Anyway, Washoe County District Attorneys ultimately decided, even after all of this chaos she had once again caused, not to press charges against Morgan. And for a while now, I've been searching for the reason why. I didn't think this story was very complete without, like, the why. Like, how did it come to the point where they just drop charges like this after all that nonsense, after the fake black eye, the extortion scandal? Like, did they make up? Well, guys, just a week ago, I finally found it. I got the answer, and you are not going to believe this. See, this whole incident is apparently not where the Morgan and John saga ended, because Morgan posted a pinned comment on one of her YouTube videos just 2 weeks ago that almost everyone who has been following this lore seems to have missed. It reads, "Let's address the huge elephant in the room. I know a lot of people saw a video of my arrest, and yeah, it doesn't look good, but there's 2 sides to that story, and then the truth. I haven't been ready to talk about it. I've been too sad and angry. John and I got back together shortly after the arrest, and he told me a very different story as to why the police were called that day, and kept with that story for 7 months. Then the body cam footage was released. That was the first time I finally really knew why I was arrested that day. I can confidently say, and have proof, that I did not extort John or lie about a black eye. Hence why the charges were dropped by the county, nor was I squatting on his property. Again, I'll tell the full story when I'm ready, but I'd like to publicly make a statement and say I did not extort him in any way. One day in my own time, when I feel like it, I'll show proof and tell the side of the story with all the receipts. Right now, it's not time. I don't know when it will be." I ended things with him for good after the arrest video was released not too long ago. I've needed time to, 1, mourn the loss of my relationship with John, and 2, try to wrap my head around what I saw and heard in that video. Right now, it's hard to go back and pull all of the proof to make a video and to watch the body cam footage. I hate looking at all of it. It was one of the darkest moments I've ever had, and I get so angry mostly at myself for creating that situation, and angry with John for his part in it. We both acted like fools. Me the most because I was wasted. But I'm grateful for it all and have been since that dark day. Had I not been arrested, I believe I would have accidentally drank myself to death. I blew a .303 an hour after they took me away in cuffs, and it was in the morning. I hadn't even started drinking again yet. I had just woke up. On August 16th, 2023, my life was saved, and I was given a second chance. Today, I'm almost 9 months sober and finally free from my addiction to alcohol. I'd relive this public humiliation 1,000 times over to be where I am today, no longer shackled to alcohol and drinking my life and potential away. I'm moving forward, and I'd like for my fans to move forward with me. Alcohol has been holding me back and at times turned me into a complete nut job for 21 years. These bad moments are behind me now. Let's keep trekking. Yeah, so Morgan has all the evidence that proves that she did nothing wrong, that totally exonerates her. She's got all the receipts. She just doesn't really feel like releasing them because, like, whatever, this isn't like a life-ruining scandal or anything that you'd want to get out in front of with the evidence. But you know what? If she actually does release all that stuff and I am totally proven wrong on all counts, I will make an apology video. In fact, actually, Morgan, if you're watching this and you'd like to present that evidence to me, I am totally willing to listen. And if it turns out that you do actually have compelling evidence that this isn't what it appears to be, I am more than happy to make an apology video. So even after all of this, superfan John decided to get back together with Morgan. And to absolutely everyone's shock, it once again did not turn out well. You know, I felt pretty bad for this John guy sleeping in a literal ditch like Andy from Parks and Recreation and getting almost extorted and accused of domestic violence very publicly and whatnot. But knowing that he went crawling back to her afterward really does sort of evaporate that pity. Truly a bonkers tale from start to finish, and yet Unstoppable Morgan remains, well, unstopped. She got so close to facing actual consequences this time, but alas, she has escaped the hammer of justice once again, though it does sound like she's cleaned up her act a bit and gotten sober, which frankly I certainly am not going to hate on. I do hope it helps her become a better person and stop finding herself in these situations, but only time will tell. I think frankly that alcohol is not the sole reason behind her behavior, and she is perhaps using that to wash away her long history of said bad behavior, dishonesty, and self-importance. That's really all I got for you today. Another chapter in the Unstoppable Morgan saga. She escapes justice once again. I'll see you next time.